Welcome to the board of the Bantu. I don't know what's wrong with my lighting, but welcome to my board. Okay, I should have moved the lighting a little differently. Welcome to the board of the Bantu. And on this day, this great day, I am about to be graduated. My ancestors are not about the life of me using shells anymore. They said every witch doctor can sit cross-legged and give a prediction and give stories, and they are not lying. And they said your shells, which are beautiful, I have now become a handicap. So from now on, until further notice, I'm not going to be throwing the shells, but I needed them because they have become a handicap. I need them in front of me so that I can do it. I'm going to be like every other witch doctor, sangoma, nganga, traditional healer, or however they choose to call themselves. I'm going to be like that, people. And I am going to give it straight from my head. Instead of 85% in the shells and 50% in my head, we are now switching to 85% in my head and 15% the shells. Because when you go to Africa, you're hardly ever going to find a witch doctor who is worth anything, who has to throw shit to see it. We give it as we get it, right? So that's what I'm going to do. So welcome to the new board of the Bantu, where I'm just going to sit here and just going to do what I usually do with my friends and what I usually do with my clients and my students. And I'm just going to run with it. State of the nation. Of course, when I say that, I meant state of the nation of America. I am not American, but most of my viewers and most of my clients are American. I am going on to TikTok right now to look for the post where I said to people, there it is, ask what you would like to ask. So here we are with the whole list of state of the nation. But before we go to those questions, we're going to go to the president of the United States. If Biden is voted back into power, he's going to die in State House. Done deal. He's going to die in State House. And Americans will be able to witness the death of a president who is still in power. Because it's so weird. It's like if he stays in State House, he's gonna die. If he leaves State House, he might just live a little longer. He has lost part of his mind, literally. Like, I don't know how you guys are seeing him in your country, in America, but he has lost part of his mind. He is almost not there. His energy, his soul, has said goodbye to the world. I'm looking for pictures of Biden so that I can have more to say. His energy, his soul, has said goodbye to the world. Seriously, he's gone. It takes a long time to die, and it's like a journey. It's a journey like no other, right? And his began when just before he was even made president, like Alzheimer's. Something that's eating away at his brain. Okay, he doesn't even make major decisions in the United States. He's just a figurehead at the moment. Like I said before, a woman behind the woman is running the show. So there's a woman, definitely. There's a woman. She's kind of chunky, white, and she's running the show. And he just signs papers, and he just, signs papers, sign. They know that he is not well. They know that he is gone. They know that, they're going to have to do something really amazing or really astonishing to not stop the degeneration and the demise. So basically what we're saying is that America has got a sick president in the White House, and that this woman is running the show, and her policies are what you are seeing. The vice president has become nothing but a mere figurehead. She did not prove herself useful, so she has been kicked out of the inner circle of the runnings of the country. She's being sent all over the place as ambassador, but she's just a pretty face. And just trying to show that we Americans, we have diversity. But she has literally been pushed out of the circle. She wants to be president. She is actually fighting for it. They may have dismissed her so easily, but it's not going to be that easy. Because she wants to be president and she is smart, but it's more like her husband is the one who is making all the moves on her behalf. Her hubby be making all the moves on her behalf, right? Okay, What new policies will the Biden regime bring into America that are worth anything at all? First thing that comes to mind, there will be a tightening on vaccines and people being vaccinated. It's literally like by the end of the Democratic term, it'll be, we're not playing with you, but you guys won't be seeing it because they're just going to creep it in. They're going to find a loophole in the US system that allows them to just like do what they want behind your backs, literally. So they're going to find a loophole, and it's really interesting. It's like they're going to put stuff in children's medicine. So instead of the dosage just being served all at once, it's going to be served in little drips and drabs. I see pink Pepto-Bismol, like, kids medicine. They're going to put it in kids medicine every time you give your baby some kind of medicine up until they are 7. It'll have vaccines in them. And you have to be very careful when you read the label and you're getting medication for your kids, because that is how America is going to keep its people healthy. It's going to force the decision unto you by doing what all governments in the world always do. While we are on health, we are checking out America's birth rate. It's going to go down. Boom. State of the future. America's birth rate is going to go down. Its reliance on the immigrants that they hate so much is actually going to rise. It's going to rise. Okay. There will be less Asian immigrants, though, because they have secretly tightened them coming into the United States or staying in the United States. They want them out due to scandals which have been squashed, financial scandals that have been squashed. So there will be more immigrants from Africa. Certain African countries will enjoy the privilege of immigrating to the United States because they want the African American society to be blended. They want it to be blended. They want more blood in it. They feel that African American society is not growing economically as at fast a pace as other societies. So they are bringing in Africans, different state of mind, not the same trauma. So they'll be bringing in a hell of a lot of Africans. So over the years, America is going to see a rise in Africans, except Nigerians and Ghanaians. But all the other Africans pretty much have carte blanche. Okay, carte blanche. Yeah, I just felt, this is my favorite headgear ever, but it's heavy. Okay, it's heavy. But today I felt like I wanted to be within my culture. I just did. So, of course, it's like my favorite gear. And it's really the way I do it. I can barely see through these things because I like this to touch my nose. But hey, let's forget that. This is why I use shells, because I get taken out of the metaphysical so much. Alrighty. Now we did health. So what else are we going to do? Let me go to your questions, and then if I think of another question myself, I will do it. So the next president of the United States is going to be. We're not good with politics. Just telling you, because I'm personally not interested in politics. So my energy, when it goes in that direction, she kind of loses interest. And she's like, bleh, okay. But we do see a Democratic win again. No matter what people are thinking, we do see a Democratic win. We are not seeing who, if not Kamala, will run. We really not, because Kamala's energy is saying me, and she's fighting for it like nobody's business. And we will leave it at that. But definitely the Democrats are going to win again. And then after this Democrat win, the next win will also be Democrats. And only on the third win will the Republicans come into office, and then things will really change for the United States. they will really, really change. A better economy under the Republicans, more wealth under the Republicans, less freedom, more restrictions under the Republicans. But, a better economy all around. Okay, let us go to, do we see Trump being president of the United States? No. He's losing his base, even though he's still really, really campaigning. And even though he still has fans, he's losing his base, and the Republican Party is not willing to put their horse up for a second ride, no matter what. A new guy who's kind of like lukewarm, was kind of like uninteresting, is going to be the Republican nominee. Yeah, he's uninteresting. He's forgettable. And the next one too will be uninteresting and forgettable. But it's the third one who will not be uninteresting and who will not be forgettable. Yeah, the third one is going to be so much younger, like 36, 37, 38, 39. Is the US currency switching to a digital currency soon and moving away from the US dollar? For us, that's a no and a no. Nothing economically amazing is going to happen in the United States. In fact, the rest of the world is going to go digital before the United States. They are looking into the hacking of a digital system and people having their money stolen via a digital system, which is exactly what I was thinking of. Like, what are the safety guards for that? Because it's not safe yet. What is going to happen in the world is that a hell of a lot of people are going to have their shit stolen. A hell of a lot of people are going to have their shit stolen, like their money stolen via the digital world, once a certain race of people works it out how they can steal, that is. Okay, I don't know if you've addressed these before. This is from Ruby Gill. I don't know if you've addressed these before. Is there going to be a major change in food and food management system and clothing and textiles? You're in for such a bitter disappointment. Okay. The world is not changing anytime soon. The way things are run is the way things will continue to be run for a very, very long time. But there will be more designer people on the ground. More designer babies. And just as we get to like the 12th year mark of the United States, I'm using the United States, that is when, boom, babies who are completely made in incubators are going to be introduced to the world. Those new energies, which don't have enough to sustain them energetically, are going to change the world. But otherwise, nothing is going to change. Literally, nothing is going to change, except for some reason, a lot of prejudice against Asians. There's going to be a lot of prejudice against Asians, which is going to grow and grow and grow with time. Okay. African countries are going to start manufacturing their own cars. That is actually coming in no later than 5 years. I know they've already started. Others are already building plants. But Africans are going to start manufacturing their own cars. Africans are also going to start doing their own electricity. There is a DIY energy all over Africa as it prepares to close its doors on the world. So that movement is very, very serious. That movement is very, very serious. If you're African and you're not home within 10 years, or because you want to go home, it's going to be difficult for you to have a foothold into African territory. Be warned, it's going to be really, really difficult for you in 10 years because there is an almost determined DIY and there are a lot of returnees. A lot of Africans are going home. There isn't so much a huge number of African Americans going to Africa. A lot of them will go for 6-7 months, then they'll come back. A lot of them will return to what they know because, this is home. And they'll return to what they know. But the Africans themselves, change is actually coming from the Africans themselves in Africa. They are going to start being self-reliant. They're going to start using their minerals to build things for themselves. They are just going to be more self-reliant. It's coming, and there's no government support for it. It's literally allergies. It's literally coming from the people themselves. And because right now there are no laws that stop them from doing what they want to do, they're just going to do it. Somebody's going to say, I'm going to start my own electricity company and create my own electricity. Somebody's saying, I'm going to do my own car. Somebody's do my own cars. You know, it's coming from the wealthy, those with the money, obviously. Okay, next. Will manufacturing jobs return to the US and other nations now that we've seen supply issues through the pandemic? Strangely enough, the Chinese don't want to do it anymore. Neither do the Africans. A lot of manufacturing is going to India and Bangladesh and Pakistan. A lot. Okay. Women are choosing to not become mothers or become mothers later in life, and many countries have populations in decline, and that is going to continue the world over. There is going to be a huge, major population decline, and then countries will start stealing people from each other. Young people, of course, not people my age. They'll start stealing people from each other. What's next? Government policies in various countries are having various degrees of success to address the decline in birth rates, and they will all fail. From what we are seeing, they are all going to fail. Like, women just don't want to have kids anymore. They are just all going to fail. And even the fertility birth rate of the males is going to be 0. They're going to start farming kids, but not right now though. 25 to 27 years from now, they'll start farming kids. What will be the consequences of this in the future? Well, it'll be much easier for human beings to get visas to go to other countries. There'll be enticements. A country that is really hard hit right now by this is Italy. Not that Italy is ever going to acknowledge it and accept it, but they are really hard hit by it. They are just pretending. They are just saying, no, we're good. Yeah, but they are really hard hit about it. In the USA, student loans, housing crisis, food shortages. The food shortages are going to end. It's only a matter of time. In about 8 to 9 months' time, America would have fixed its food shortage problem. They're going to fix it. Housing crisis. That is going to take a while. It's really going to take a while, people. There's going to be a housing crisis in the United States forever. It's just not on any U.S. government's agenda. They talk about it like how in Africa, a politician tells you after he has found donors for one borehole in the whole village, and then he will say, 10 more are coming. Then you never see the 10 more. That is what America's housing situation is always going to be like. Okay. Student loans. They're going to remain as is. People are going to be paying their student loans like they're paying taxes, like I am paying student loans, like everybody's paying student loans. They're going to remain as is. Hi, Gogo. This is VP Finest. Okay, this is Tesa Mate. Good news. Who's going to gain peace? Who's going to get a broken heart heal? Who's going to have the most babies? Someone good. I think we've been saying this forever, and we are going to stand on it because that is what the metaphysical shows us. Really, Africa is the only continent with good news. Africa...